that the heads won't make it through. Usually the body is not the problem. The head is usually what gets stuck because the heads be so big on these puppies. So what's good, YouTube? Neighborhood Bullies checking in with another video. And today I'm doing a video about C-sections, when to get a C-section, and how to go about scheduling one. So the main thing, we're just gonna get right into the video, and I'll be writing down I'll jot down some points that I don't want to miss out. So that's why I'll keep looking down every now and then. So the first point I want to make is when to schedule the C-section. So let's say, for instance, I'm doing a breeding Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday. I would go from the Tuesday date and schedule my C-section because just in case the Monday breeding didn't take, or just in case, you know, the Monday breeding did take, if you schedule it from the middle date, you can just about pretty much stay in the middle and get about the right time for the puppies to be delivered, which will be going to my next point. From the middle date, I'll go 60 days instead of the 63 days. That way, like I said, if it takes on the first day, it'll still be between that 59 and 63 day range to where the puppies is able to be delivered. So if I go 60 days from the middle date, you know, I'll still be in a pretty good range. The next thing you want to do is to try your best to deal with a trustworthy vet. A lot of the vets around here don't really like to deal with American bullies. Well, a lot of the vets around America, period. We just developed a bad name from several different breeders that breed unhealthy dogs. Dogs with breathing problems, hip problems, fertility issues, so many issues that could cost a vet later on down the line. So to prevent that, a lot of the vets is just cutting out the American bully breed altogether. They don't want to help reproduce the American bully breed. They definitely don't want to help, you know, anything to deal with pretty much reproducing and repopulating the American bully breed. So another thing that you would need to get a C-section done for is if you're breeding a bigger male to a smaller female. Now let's say you're breeding a standard size dog or XL size dog to a pocket, and you would definitely need to get that C-section done because the head size that's going to be on the puppies is going to be so big, and the birth canal on the small female is so little that the heads won't make it through. Usually the body is not the problem. The head is usually what gets stuck because the heads be so big on these puppies. So usually when you breed a bigger dog to a smaller dog, you'll want to go ahead and schedule that C-section because you definitely don't want to get caught where the dog is pushing out puppies and she pushes out the first one fine, and then the next one gets stuck, and now you got to schedule an emergency C-section, and the vet bill for the emergency C-section is going to be a lot higher than if you just schedule a C-section and end up not needing the C-section that you schedule because for whatever reason. So going on to the next point, if you had previous complications with this same thing to where you had a litter and your female wasn't able to push out the puppies completely in the first litter, the next litter you have with that puppy, you should highly consider getting a C-section done so you don't run into the same issue, especially if it's with the same female. So yeah, definitely if you have previous complications, you need to go ahead and consider a C-section for your next litter. The next thing, if you're breeding small dogs, small dog breeds tend to breed to dogs that's about their same size. Say, for instance, two Yorkies, male and female, will most likely be the same size. So you won't necessarily have to get a C-section done in that case. But a guy like me, to be on the safe side, I would schedule a C-section just to, you know, keep that small dog from having complications or, you know, any trouble to where she's feeling like she's stressed or any reason to cause a complication in the litter. So small breeds is really, you really probably just have to know the dog, or like I said, you can try it the first litter everything goes successful, you know, you can continue doing natural litters. But if you have a complication, then it's highly recommended to try the C-section the next time, because you definitely don't want to run into the same complications twice. And another point, another thing I want to mention that I've dealt with, if you have 2 C-sections done in a row, like say you get a breeding done, you have a C-section, you do the next breeding on the next heat and have a C-section that time too, doing 2 C-sections in a row will cause a lot of scar tissue to be damaged on the C-section, on the incision line to where the C-section is done. And a lot of times what happens is getting C-sections done back to back. The nurse told me that the incision site don't have the proper time to heal on the inside, so you know the stomach will bust open before it's supposed to, you know, when you go to get the C-section done. So that'll cause a lot of complications too, and could possibly cause the female to lose her life, or to have further complications to where she would need to be fixed and can't produce puppies anymore. So yeah, definitely, if you have 2 C-sections in a row, either skip the breeding or breed to a smaller male to where you don't feel like you will have the complication to where you need to get a C-section done, because that can be a serious issue. So yeah, just make sure you, and after every C-section, make sure you give the dog all the medication that the vet gives you until, you know, you run out of the medication. Don't feel like well, you feel like the dog is doing better, so you stop giving it the meds. Just give the dog all the meds that they prescribe. And pretty much that's about all I got on C-sections. Yeah, just pretty much know when you should go in and get a C-section done, as far as if you're breeding bigger dogs or smaller dogs, and just keeping an eye on if you got 2 C-sections in a row, to probably skip the 3rd one or breed to a smaller dog to where you won't need to. It's Neighborhood Bullies. We checking out.